Welcome and hello and hello and welcome and hello. Sorry, guys. Sort of got a quick sip of water before I started. Want to talk. This is going to be a relatively quick video. Always really busy on Monday. Welcome and hello. Thank you for joining me on this very special edition of Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more, going to dispense with all the pleasantries, usual jokes, the shtick, the stock Karen, the Hurricane Lopez, all that nonsense that you love so well. Sorry, guys, you get a frog in your throat. Preparing for the show, you're not talking to anyone, and I don't really do any preparation. All of a sudden, your voice just goes on you. But we want to talk SMCI, Supermicro Computer. Stock popped today, really popped. It was coming out of the pre-market. It had gone up to 35, and then just out of nowhere, just came out of the gate all the way up to 38.50, settled down at right back down to 36.60, and that's basically the area it closed out up to 36.80 after hours. Volume was pretty high for how it's been lately, 56 million shares, and the algo was working really hard. Basically, it was a pump, half a dump, basically 50% retracement on that move, and then just trading sideways all day, trading sideways after hours. But make no mistake, this thing is climbing back up the ladder that it climbed back down. It really, really looks like that 30 area is going to be the bottom. The shock and awe, 17, 18, they shook out a lot of returders, but retail is, not as dumb as we used to be. We don't scare as easily, and a lot of us are buying these dips when they don't make any sense on these great companies. I mean, this was why I started my channel, was the price of SoFi was so absurdly low. And I was looking at the company, looking at the management, looking at the model, the trajectory, and I was like, this is one of the buys of my lifetime. I mean, that might be a slight exaggeration, but what's going on tonight? What's the catalyst for this? It's not only all the demand in semiconductors that sent everything from Taiwan Semi to NVIDIA to AMD up today, but it's the specific fact that Jensen is giving the keynote at CES tonight in, I think, about an hour and a half. And he's expected to talk about cooling, specifically liquid cooling, because if you look at Blackwell and the delay in delivering Blackwell, or sort of the perceived problems with it, a lot of that centered around thermal management, around cooling. And, so his address comes as investors eagerly await, this is Yahoo Finance, of course, NVIDIA's latest Blackwell, analysts have said, will drive a massive new cycle of demand for the company's products, despite fears of a slowdown in AI spending. We keep hearing about this slowdown in AI spending. That's just a complete fictitious fugazi. When you listen to Microsoft, you listen to Facebook, you listen to NVIDIA, you listen to all the players who are in a position to know, they're saying the exact opposite of this slowdown in AI. I mean, Microsoft just came out and said they're going to raise their spending by 50%. So after a design flaw pushed back the rollout of its Blackwell lineup and rumors of overheating problems in servers using those chips circulated, NVIDIA confirmed in November earnings call that Blackwell production is ramping up in the current quarter, with the chips shipping to customers ahead of expectations. So this represents $100 billion opportunity, driving rebound in the Magnificent Seven, et cetera, et cetera. Positive catalyst, reasserting NVIDIA's platform dominance. And remember, Supermicro is NVIDIA's third largest customer, and one of the largest implementers of the data centers. And what's critical is what Supermicro has in the pipeline. I think they're about to introduce a lot of new stuff around Blackwell, because that's kind of what they do. They cater to these individual chip makers, but especially to NVIDIA. So when you talk about, it's easy to just put a ton of processing power into a data center. The problem is making it small, making it efficient, making it use less electricity, making it generate less heat, and the heat that it does generate, being able to manage that. That's where liquid cooling comes in. That's where SMCI has a huge technological advantage, because they've been working on this stuff for a long, long time. And I think and these are just some of the, projects inside the world's largest AI supercluster. This is Supermicro's website. Elon's 100,000 GPUs, liquid cooling rack scale integration. These are just a bunch of their different products, big AI server. So here's the thing. It's easy to just make power. Like if you guys are into motorsports, you just want to make a lot of power. They say there's no replacement for displacement. You just put a lot of cubic inches in, or you put a big turbo on it. The problem is, a lot of displacement or even a big turbo or superchargers, whatever, those are heavy. The art of it, the art of engineering is getting a lot of power out of something that's small, light, elegant, efficient, well designed. It's a difference between like a Dodge Charger and a Ferrari. They're just not comparable. They might go as fast, but Supermicro, I've studied this. I've talked to people like, oh, they don't have any advantage. These things are all interchangeable. Absolute hogwash. Absolutely not so. This company is trading at an absurd valuation as if they're about to go out of business, and they're rapidly shrinking when they're growing very, very rapidly. And the demand for what they do is about to freaking explode. This does not make any sense. This has been a scam. This has been a fugazi since the beginning. You can call it, I don't know, what's legal, what's not legal. I'm not an attorney. I don't have any insider knowledge. But if you think these market makers who are trying to acquire these shares down in the teens and then trying to, kill calls or whatever, if you don't think they are in any way coordinating with these short sellers and these reports and timing these things, I got a bridge to sell you. They're all ready at the right time. It's like how, KBW hits SoFi every first trading day after New Year's. They hit them with these ridiculous calls, and then the stock drops, 15%. Whether it's a bowling ball headed parrot or My Chemical Romance's little Timmy Switzer. Only one wears eyeshadow and only one is bald. But that's not the point. The point is, guys, they've sold you a bill of goods. They've sold you a bill of goods. They knocked this thing down here, 17 bucks. That's trading almost at last year's sales. This year's sales, even these big bad bears, these analysts who say the stock is worth 23, they're predicting 25 to 26 billion in sales. That's 70+% top line growth. And the whole argument that EPS is shrinking is just nonsense. Margins are contracting slightly. When you have revenues going up that much, EPS is expanding very quickly. Look at the numbers for yourself. Look at the earnings report that have been audited by Ernst & Young through 2023 and the first half of 2024. It tells the story. The allegations, it's like hints, allegations, and things left unsaid. The allegations against this company are far less serious than you might imagine. I mean, this whole export control thing, they allege when the Ukraine-Russian war started that, for several months after they said they weren't doing business in Russia, Supermicro was actually exporting, a couple $100 billion or whatever, $100 billion worth of stuff to run. But it's a little bit hazy what was legal and what isn't legal. It would be based upon timing, usage, who was actually sanctioned. My understanding is these products it's not as cut and dry as these like shorts make it out. And remember, most of these allegations from this lawsuit, this big whistleblower thing, are just a disgruntled employee. I mean, a disgruntled employee can just hate management, can hate the company, can say whatever he wants. Some of it could be technically true, but could be very misleading when taken out of context. And a lot of employees kind of resent upper management in that they're, arrogant and, whatever it is. Pompous, they don't follow the rules, they have this God complex. But a lot of CEOs are like that. It doesn't mean they're going to put Chuckie in prison. And a lot of people are speculating that, Jensen, when I say the lion speaks tonight, that's this guy's the 800-pound gorilla in a, beautiful leather jacket. And if he gives a nod to his boy Chuckie, this is game over. This is lights out. This is Fat Lady doing an operetta. This is hell freezing over. So this thing popped 56 million shares. Weird price action. Retail's not afraid of price action anymore. I mean, this thing, they accumulated here. I was saying before, market makers were very, very happy to accumulate between 32 and 34. Now I think market makers are happy to accumulate anything under 40 because they know this is, $120, $150 stock today. I mean, if they can keep growing even 50%, 40%, look at the multiples companies like, Palantir get. And there's this sector bias. You say, oh, it's software, it's not hardware. It's profit. Look at the EPS growth. The profit's quickly going to move from $1. It went to $2. It's going to be up at $3.60 in 2 years. The EPS growth is tremendous. It's going to be tremendous. Yeah, dude, Fubu just completely went parabolic on I guess they're going to get bought out by like Disney, Hulu. They're going to merge with their live TV product. So, yeah, I missed that one. I didn't have any Fubu. I wish I did. But yeah, not going to lie, didn't have any. So, yeah, that's how that one went. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Welcome and hello and welcome. Yeah, Jeremy, that's about my take on it. I mean, it should be trading at about, 4 to 5x these levels. So I agree with you there. Yeah. So Clap My Dog bought some at 32 just to feel part of the gang. Yeah. I mean, that's nicely bought. I think you're going to double your money here very, very quickly. Less than a year, I would say, way less than a year, but we just have to see. I mean, there could be doom and gloom, people going to prison, financials slashed, and the stock just getting chopped down to nothing. That can happen, guys. There are risks to everything. Anything that has a really high reward is going to be somewhat risky because you have not filed these financials for a reason. The auditor quit for a reason. We don't know exactly why. We don't know how deep the troubles go. I mean, of course, Chuckie says everything's fine. But can he be trusted? I mean, no. That's not. I want some proof he can be trusted. Yeah, Nike's a good company. It's been a really rough stock over the decades. It's had some real challenges, ups and downs. I've been in and out of Nike a few times. I never did very well with it, to be honest with you. My timing, I held Nike once for years and years and ended up like selling it at like a 10% loss. And then shortly thereafter it went up. But we all have those fish stories, the one that got away. One of those swooshes just doesn't want to stay on my hook. Shakes itself off. John Bland Jovi, they're definitely not like Palantir. Yeah, of course. I'm not comparing them to Palantir. I'm just saying there's a strong sector bias where people say, oh, it's hardware, it's garbage, they have nothing proprietary. Dig a little bit deeper. They have a lot that's proprietary. And hardware is important because software doesn't work without hardware. AI doesn't work without data centers. It's not a chicken and egg problem. It's like a chicken or fish problem. I'll have a piece of both. We can't do that. Oh, yes, you can. This is my third cousin's wedding. I can definitely get 2 entrees. Anyway, guys, you are definitely not entertained. FOMO or FUBU. Kel Travels, he's back. Carl Seamark, the mattress king of Chicago. We all need more money so we can buy more stocks, Carl. It's kind of the name of the game, buddy. Not a lurker is here. The great not a lurker, the great J Money. You know him. You love him. He's the fintech wrench from Jersey. It's a Jersey thing. Anyway, guys, he's not really from Jersey. He's from California. Just went out to Jersey because he got sick of all of us, douchers out here in Los Angeles. Couldn't take it anymore. Goes, I'm gonna shave my head and move back to Jersey, where people are people. I don't know. I don't think he actually sounds like that. Anyway, SoFi, Lamia, Golden Egg. Yeah. SoFi is going to go way, way. SoFi has so much in the pipeline. Oh my gosh, I'm hitting my microphone. SoFi has so much in the pipeline that they're just not talking about. Galileo has customers they can't talk about. SoFi is just at the starting line. SoFi so far has just been setting the table. They've just been laying the foundation. They've just been doing the preliminary work, the planning, the blueprints, talking with the city, getting my vendors lined up. Maybe we'll have problems with our union people. No, I'm definitely don't. None of my building projects involve any bribes or mob connections. That's for certain. Yeah, no, they don't. This is California, guys. You got to pay because like the mafia is like the city. It's just like try to get a building permit in like Los Angeles. You got 18 months and takes years off your life. Anyway, guys, I have 100% of my portfolio in SMCI now at 34. I will never advise anyone to go 100% of their portfolio in one stock. Having said that, I think you're going to do very, very well. But there's always that risk when you go all in that you lose everything. So you just have to be prepared, for that eventuality. Do not Lebanon psych and they'll get clobbered. Yeah, you don't know, Jeremy. This thing, like I said, this type of volatility, this type of risk reward profile, it's not for the faint of heart. So if you're going to play, you got to know what you're doing and you got to be prepared to lose. So that's just the way it is, guys. I knew it would pop today. As quiet as hell. Stock at 30. Yeah, Reg dude, it had to go up. They can't keep holding it down, borrowing. Something has to give. And what you saw today, finally, the cost to borrow max came up above 1. This is always at like 1. It's 6.57. They will run out of shares. These guys that are killing the options, they're playing these games, they're accumulating as low as possible, but they're having to dump and shuffle. The old butt clench cheek, duck waddle to the toilet type of situation. Why would you have to go to the bathroom? You could be like 300 miles from the bathroom and you're like, I have to go to the bathroom. Maybe I just ate a big chili boat. Maybe I just had a double Frito pie. Chased it with some extra hot chicken wings. You'd be driving on a roadie. You drive like 300 miles. Then the minute you you're just running for the toilet, you get like within 5 feet of it, you just lose all control. I mean, I'm just speaking extemporaneously. It's never happened to me. But your proximity to the restroom, the closer and closer you get toward that bullseye, your likelihood of crapping your pants goes up exponentially. I don't really know what that has to do with anything. Let's see. I haven't actually crapped my pants since like the 3rd grade or 2nd grade. I don't know. It's been quite a run. It's like that Seinfeld not vomiting run. All good things must come to an end. Anyway, this channel's not supposed to be about crapping your pants, but the mind, it wanders. So people keep asking me, what is the stock worth? What if their numbers look good? What if they do these filings? What if they hire a CEO? I mean, guys, fundamentally, it's about growth. It's about earnings. It's about demand. It's about all these things that are very straightforward. I talk a lot about Noto and his hair, but I'm just joking. It doesn't matter. The goal is to make money so you can enjoy your life. Retire in style. It doesn't matter if it's SoFi, SMCI, NEO, which is just absurdly undervalued. NEO, I think, is worth mid-20s. I mean, if they hit their 2025 goals, and that's a big if. But I think that stock could be mid-20s in a year, easily. I think Supermicro will be back over 100 once they just get this accounting bullshit in order. That's all it is. There's no demand problem. There's no product problem. There's no customer problem. There's no problem with demand for shrinking for AI data centers. It's all a bunch of crap, lies, fugazi, opposite of the truth, to get retail to sell their shares low, to get retail to continue to buy these short-dated calls that they've been able to kill. What do you think holding the price there is all about? It's accumulation. It's killing options. I mean, that's really all there is. Market makers did not want to pay, $100 for this company. It was way up here at 122. That's when the algo took hold, tried to bring it down. Look at this shakeout. 97, all the way down to 73. I mean, you're talking like 20+% dip over and over. Look at the accumulation. Nice 45-degree angle, falls off a cliff. Accumulation, big pop. I mean, this stock was trading 86 and demand's only going up. But you see the algo just taking over here, holding the stock flat. I mean, this was before it fell off a cliff. It was way undervalued here at 50, in my opinion. I don't get it, guys. So, I mean, I do get it because this is what market makers do. They take advantage of retail investors. That's almost what the whole damn thing is based on. Hey, I'm going to get the money from the doctors, from the engineers, and the Uber drivers. I want to buy a bigger house in Connecticut. I mean, it sounds like cheesy, but it's really, I mean, if you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, they talk you into things because they're good salespeople. They're not that people like, oh, they can predict them. Or they're not predicting anything. They're making the market. They're driving the price action. The tail is wagging the dog. It's just that simple. They fix the price on this stock over and over and over. They rig the bid and the ask. We're like, how do they do it? That's illegal. I don't care if it's illegal. They do it. They're selling. Why would they dump shares low at 30 if they want to go long? Because they're selling the damn shares to themselves. That's what price fixing is. You put a ton of shares in the bid. You put a ton of shares at the ask at a certain price at a certain time. You overwhelm the system and you drop the price. You see them do this with this stock constantly when it's trying to move. It drops in one candle, relatively moderate volume, 15, 16 cents. Does it over and over and over. Highly predictable. As much volatility as there is, it's not that hard to predict. I mean, it's not that big of a madman. You saw where it got loose and you saw where the algo locked on again. This has been steady accumulation. Oh, I don't know, guys. I just get frustrated. I mean, I know so many people dump their shares under 20 and they're just kicking themselves. And, that's just the way it is. The rich get richer. The poor, stupid, slow, dim-witted returders get poorer. And such is life, guys. Such is life in the big city. Reg, you knew it would pop. Phoenix XJ 112. Hey, it's Ferguson. Turd Ferguson in the house. My favorite plumber's crack. PJ, of course, the great PJ in the house. Princess J. Let's get this money. Alberto Bertie Avilés. You said it, man. Where's that nephew of yours? What are you doing with my wrench? Oh, snap. They arrived. Yep. Moderators are in town. Hello, Poto. You call it, I answer. Bertie, you've been laying low in Discord. SMCI merged. You mean this funny? That's funny, Phoenix. I like it. Why not? Why not? We can do whatever we want. Elon will sue us all in England. Move us to Texas against our will. Put us in a commune. Send us to Mars. We'll be farming soybeans on Mars. Like, what the hell happened? I was just surfing the internet. Now I'm farming soybeans on Mars for Elon. Is this virtual reality? I certainly hope so. They wake my ass up. Called Schwab today, lower rates. They'll let me know in the next few days. Excellent. LFG, SCMI, I agree. It's currently 35. One account, the other's 45. Just my daughter's account, just 45. Trying to get 10 cents. Damn, follow. Put a take a look. Fubu. Hey, we've been busy. Seeing folks here actually talking to something before. Funny enough, value comes to shares. Yeah, this thing, guys. They haven't exploded yet. People think, oh, the revenue from 14 to 25. This thing could get much, much bigger. Blackwell demand is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I loaded up. Of course you did, Payush. I would expect nothing less from the great Payush representing Memphis, Tennessee. The rest of you guys only wish you were representing Memphis. Let's go. I'm watching WWE on Netflix. Nice, Payush. Now, I looked at Fubu. It's just one of those that it ran premium the option. You can't chase that thing. You can't chase it. It's over. Even if it's not over, it's over. Put it out of your mind. Don't go there. Once you miss it, you miss it. Don't chase. Never chase, guys. One of the most important things in the market. Don't chase after runs. There's always another runner. Get in on the ground floor. Don't get in. I mean, you could chase a little bit, but not obsessively. Let's see. Money. That's classic turd remark. You are a real turd. Poco is a show on Fubo TV. Danny calls you a potato head. Supermicrocomputer company reached 150. It could easily reach 150 in 2025. I think it's worth 125, 150 right now. So Fubo and Jeremy's channel didn't like it. About some of those. Okay. Cool. What's up? About some of 32. Yeah, I think I already read these guys. Seems like Mr. Lurker got me some hokas. Love them. Very risky business using a public toilet as well. Sound like kind of take risk with the stock. Might need to buy. I have concerns about the brand name in a game that is commodity like Nike or Palantir causing actually churning a profit. Yeah, Palantir barely makes any money. I mean, they make a little bit of money, but they're worth like 200 billion, or they were. If it's fallen a little bit. God, it's absolutely ridiculous. If Palantir grew at 30% top line and bottom line for the next 10 years, they couldn't grow into that valuation. I mean, their revenues are just a little bit more than SoFi. I think SoFi will be growing faster than them. We'll see. I think you have to have complete shit for brands to buy Palantir at this valuation above SoFi, above a company like SMCI, above Neo. I'd rather just buy Google, Microsoft. I don't know. I don't see Palantir being worth that kind of money, but I'm a big idiot. So, Jeremy Miller, like sports equipment. Yeah, guys. I mean, it's so easy to criticize a company and say, hey, they just went from $1 billion to $2 billion, $3 billion, $5 billion, $7 billion, $14 billion, $25 billion. The growth is just crazy fast. There's going to be growing pains. There's going to be lessons to learn. There's going to be mistakes. The key is they have to stop repeating the same mistakes, which they tend to do. This family company just, throwing paper around between your brother-in-law. Oh, record it whatever quarter you want. That shit's not going to fly when you're, a $25 billion company and hopefully growing even bigger. Knock off the nonsense. Knock off the nonsense, Chuckie. Announce a CFO. Hire somebody really good. What's BDO doing? They've had 6 weeks or more? I don't know, guys. I would rather see those financials sooner than later. But yeah, Jensen's going to talk here, I guess, in about 45 minutes. So if he says something that's really, really favorable to SMCI, I don't really expect that, but you never know. I think him and the CEO of SMCI are friends for a long time, or at least, associates. So I've heard they're actually personal friends, but I don't know how true that is. The guy didn't plant all those trees, bought a winery. Son of a bitch. Give me a drink. Guys, I appreciate you watching. It's Super Microcomputer SMCI. It's Un Poco Mas, the show where we try to give you just a little bit more. I want to thank Alberto Berti Avilés. Want to thank the great Not a Lurker J Money. Would also like to thank the greatest ever Princess J. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. You guys all have a great night. We'll see how this goes, and be very interesting to see what Jensen says and see how that might affect SMCI and their whole liquid cooling business. Thanks, guys. Peace. I'm out.